Indigenous bodies?
No, you said
Inseminated person.
inseminated.
According to the governor of Wisconsin and the state legislator.
I am inseminated.
Yeah, they're proposing their 2025 budget. I don't know if they do 25 to 27. They do a 2-year budget there. Yeah, they want to get the gender neutral terms jammed into that state budget, so they can make sure that all impregnated people get the same care. So we call them pregnant. So
But transgender people can get pregnant?
Sure, they can.
They can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Men can have babies.
I didn't know that.
Steve, you don't know this?
Transgender people can get pregnant?
You can't say retard, but you don't know that men can get pregnant.
You can't say retard.
Just did.
I know, but you can't.
Men can get pregnant. Oh, yeah.
Not men, though. You said transgender.
Oh, no, they're men. Well, I mean, they think they're men.
Well, they don't have the thing anymore.
They're men. They believe they're men, so they can get pregnant.
You can't get pregnant with a penis.
Well, it does take a penis to get pregnant.
Right, but if you have one, you can't carry a baby. Right?
I don't know.
You're telling me there's people walking around with cocks that can get pregnant, that carry kids?
I guess so.
Where does the baby go? You're the one who brought it up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously, you do. You're the one who just said it.
Well, they tell me that's what they are. I got to believe them, right? Don't they?
They say they're men?
No, they say they're men that are pregnant. Didn't you see the picture? I don't know what it wasn't Time Magazine or what the hell was it? If Vanity Fair of the guy
Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't he get pregnant in the movie?
Yeah, they ripped the alien out of his. Wasn't that what movie was that? Oh man, I love that movie too. It's great. Yeah, they ripped the alien out of his belly.
Wasn't an alien?
Yeah, it was a little fuzzy monster.
No, I wasn't. Wasn't he pregnant in the movie?
I don't know.
Yes, he was.
I don't know. I can't picture Arnold being pregnant.
He was in a movie. It was stupid.
Come on, stop.
I'm gonna look it up. I swear to God, Arnold was pregnant.
He was pregnant in Terminator?
No. It was a movie.
Twins?
No, not twins.
Dan DeVito? It wasn't that? Come on. What was he pregnant in? Running Man?
Junior. A research scientist becomes the world's first pregnant man.
See?
This was in 94.
See, he
was ahead of their time.
They were ahead of the curve.
But trans people, you're saying, can get pregnant.
No, men.
Men cannot get pregnant.
Yes, that's what they're telling me.
Where's the baby go?
I don't know. They said they're men.
Men don't have fallopian tubes.
They believe they're men, so they're producing babies. So you gotta address them that way, right? Don't you?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it froze us right out because it knows they're full of shit.
No, it's your fault.
Oh, is it really? What did I do? Scared him away?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy.
Men can get pregnant, sure.
Okay.
That's what they're telling. Listen, I only believe what people tell me.
So if I told you I could fly,
yes,
you believe that?
Absolutely, I have to.
Okay.
That's what society's telling me.
No matter how ludicrous it is.
47% of society is telling me that you can fly.
So if I said that I started the poop diet, I'm just eating shit.
Yeah, we've been doing that for years. But yeah, I believe it.
You believe it?
Sure.
Okay.
I believe it.
You want a slice of pizza? No, I'm on the poop diet. That's all I'm eating.
100%. I have to believe it.
Okay.
Because I have to respect your feelings.
Yes, you have to respect my identity. Like
right.
If I identify as a billy goat, you have to call me goat.
Right. I gotta give you hay. Yeah.
I don't think goats
they don't eat hay.
Goats don't eat hay.
No, I thought they eat straw and hay.
That's a horse, maybe, or a cow.
A goat too. What's a goat eat?
Don't eat hay.
What does a goat eat?
Not hay.
Why don't you Google that too? What does a goat eat?
Why would a goat eat hay?
A gay goat or transgender goat.
What? Now we're talking. There's no transgender goats.
Why? Who said there isn't? The goats know there is.
I don't think. How would you know what a goat identifies as.
Because the goat's telling you when he talks to you.
Oh, you're right. They do eat hay.
I'm gay.
They eat hay.
Yeah, they
Okay,
eat hay.
you're right.
They eat hay. I
All
told
right.
you they eat
I didn't
hay.
know. I didn't think goats ate hay.
Sure they did.
I didn't.
Or they do.
I didn't.
I don't know. It's whatever the 47% of the country is telling me. They got to be right.
No, they do. They
Yeah.
do. Okay.
Yeah, some guy came up to you yesterday, said he identified as a toaster. You're a toaster.
Okay.
I jammed 2 pieces of bread in his mouth and I was waiting for it to come out.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong?
That's a fun. You're trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
So I also heard this Doge thing.
Mhm.
There's a judge that's making people come testify in front of him.
A judge.
Yes.
What do you mean testify in front of him?
A federal judge on Thursday ordered the Trump administration officials involved with Doge to testify in a legal dispute that is trying to block Doge
Right.
from getting into sensitive government databases.
Of course, but it's all been refuted now. They can't.
Because they don't want to stop circumcisions in Uganda.
Right.
The plan.
Well, what it is you don't want to get, when you have a great
They don't
plan,
want to be questioned under oath.
when you have a great plan, as the liberal side of American politics has had over the last 30 years, when you have the plan and process.
Liberals haven't been in place the last 30 years.
No, but the change in philosophy has. Democrats used to be Democrats. They used to be middle of the road, sensible people.
They did?
Yes.
Oh,
Now,
when was that?
all through. Listen, once they turned away from the KKK, Democrats are sane people. They're middle of the road, reasonable people.
Did
They
you
were.
vote for Obama?
I did not.
So how could you be middle of the road?
I'm not Democrat. Yeah, Democrats.
You
would
voted for McCain?
I voted. I'm the only time I
You're
didn't
voting
vote,
party lines regardless.
the only time I did not vote party line was I voted for Ross Perot.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was a funny one.
Yeah,
He was a little
that's,
old guy.
and that's what I wanted. I wanted change, and that was the most.
He was an
sensible
independent,
change.
though.
Yeah, that's why he didn't win. But
You actually went to the polls and you voted for Ross Perot,
Absolutely.
knowing full well that he wasn't going to win, and your vote was basically going nowhere.
Listen, 0.5% of the people or 1% of people go to the polls and vote for Jill Stein every 4 years. The Green Party, knowing that their vote, so that's their protest vote.
What's the Tea Party then?
The Tea Party is a break-off conservative, very, very tax conservative section of the Republican Party.
So there's different parts of the Republican Party,
There's different parts of the Democratic Party. There's a very ultra-liberal, right?
right?
There's a centrist Democrat part of the party. Right?
What's a libertarian then?
A libertarian is sort of a Democrat with, I would say, more conservative values.
Oh,
not politically, but
like
just,
socially conservative.
Yeah, just a little bit more, and financially, the Libertarian Party believes in less government.
They do.
Yeah. So realistically, they're in the branch of the Republican Party, to be honest with you. But
Do you know any libertarians?
I do. Yeah, man. One of my best friends, Chris Lafferty. Yeah,
He's a libertarian.
Libertarian.
Do we have
Yeah.
any libertarians around here?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Do they have any in Massachusetts?
Probably
Probably not.
That I would say no. I would say the left,
Mass is very
the
liberal.
ultra liberal part of the country lives and thrives in a few different sections, and one of the big sections is Mass.
Yes, Mass is
Which
liberal.
that's okay. And listen, you have your beliefs. You have your beliefs. I don't care, but please give me sanity when you back your beliefs. I don't need insane answers.
Who
You
gave,
can't-
who gave insane answers?
Well, when you're defending, when you're saying that there are more than two
Genders.
genders,
Yeah, it bothers me.
then it does.
It's the science. It's not really debatable. It's science.
It's there. It's all there. But see, they're breaking off the physical science with the mental science. So they say
Mental science.
Sure, if you want to identify as something different than one of the two genders, then that's your brain, your section of your brain telling you this.
I think that makes you mentally ill, though.
I would have to
That would
agree.
be mental illness.
I would have to agree because you've gone outside of your body looking to.
Well, it's reason.
You're looking to
Outside of-
change. Yeah, but you're looking to change yourself.
You can't change the science.
You can't. I agree. But you're looking to change yourself into something that you are not. But your mind is telling you to believe it. And that's where, mental struggle, I guess.
So if I have a sex change, am I going to come up in a Y chromosome?
No, I would say not. You would just be walking around with no cock.
But I'm saying they can tell the chromosomes. The men have a X
Correct.
or the Y or
Correct.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if you actually have the sex change, do your chromosomes change?
No.
They don't.
No.
So you can have the sex change,
Correct.
still coming up as a biological male,
Correct.
even if you cut it off.
Correct.
Well, that seems like going through a lot of trouble for nothing. Then
Yeah.
you can do all that, and you're still going to be an X chromosome.
Remember John Bobbitt?
John Bobbitt.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he got a bigger one.
Well, he got it chopped off, right?
Yeah, but
He was still a guy.
but it was worth it.
Right.
Well, they built him a bigger one.
Right, but he was still a guy. So
Yes, he was.
even if you chop it off, you're still what you are.
Technically, only the head got chopped off.
Well, whatever it was gone, and whatever the.
Well, I think it was worth it because he got a bigger one.
You would do that then?
Yeah, I'd have a penile enlargement surgery. I'd get a hog and a half if I could. No, you wouldn't let him operate down there.
I don't trust this. I don't trust the second time around.
Oh, okay.
I like what I got.
Oh well, I mean, if you're paying for it, if you give me $50,000,
Yeah.
I can go have the surgery.
Really?
I think you can do that for my birthday's coming up.
No, it's not going to happen.
I think you could do that. So it'd be a good surprise.
Not going to happen.
Give me like a gift certificate. So here
There are no surprises.
for the surgery.
Congratulations. You have a dick enlarging party. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be well worth it.
Yeah. No, I think we've just lost all sense of reality. I think reality is starting to come back now with this administration. Unfortunately, reality is scary to some people. I think that's why they want to live in fantasy land. They're living in a virtual reality, and I think that needs to change. Unfortunately, life and reality hit you in the face, and you have to deal with that. But a lot of people in this country don't want to, in the world, don't want to deal with it. It's too much for them. That's where the mental imbalance starts.
Well, I think it already started to get to that point.
Well, it's been. Listen, there've been transgenders probably thousands of years. But
No.
Oh yeah.
No. There has not been transgenders thousands of years.
Really?
Thousands of years?
Thousands. Sure.
You're saying that in the ancient Egyptians, there were transgenders
Absolutely.
walking around?
Absolutely. There are probably guys dressed up as women, thinking they're women walking around.
They would have stoned them, wouldn't they?
That's the difference. Now they make laws for them, but I'm not saying they should be stoned. I'm saying they should be treated as human beings. The problem is a human being
But they can't have babies.
A human being lives in a reality. Unfortunately, we live in a reality vacuum.
Well, yeah.
Right. So if you go outside of that vacuum and you want to give us some different reality, we can't honor that. We can't honor it because it just doesn't come up in our mental capacity. We can't do that.
No.
So don't take offense to it that I can't do it. I don't have the ability to do that.
Have you ever employed a transgender person?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of. I mean, I wasn't.
Would you be able to tell?
I don't know. I would hope so, but I don't know.
Is it on the application?
Have you been to Thailand?
No.
Yeah. So probably the highest percentage of transgenders live in Thailand. Ladyboys. They call them ladyboys. And when I tell you,
the Asian culture allows it?
Yeah,
I thought they're pretty strict.
Thailand, they certain are, but Thailand is pretty open.
Isn't that where they cane you in Thailand? I'm thinking Singapore.
In Singapore, yeah, and that's if you steal.
Oh,
but there's no
so you can be transgender and they don't cane you.
No one is going to get caned just because they're transgender.
Oh, okay.
So you go to Thailand and some of these ladyboys, they're
ladyboys.
They call them ladyboys, yeah, because they're men dressed as women.
And that's the norm there. You could be walking around there.
Believe that they're women. Well, the thing is that sometimes you can't tell that they're not women. You can't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
But here you can.
What do you mean? Here it's probably the same thing. You have a hard time telling some if they are or they're not. But
I get a pretty good idea.
But that's my problem. What if it's?
I got a pretty good idea.
it's I don't know. I have a hard time with it. Not that I have a hard time judging against them. I just have a hard time at putting them ahead of others. You want to be on an even keel? You're a transgender. You're transgender.
Do you consider it a minority if you're transgender?
I would assume so. I don't know. That's a great question because it's not a race.
Well, I put non-binary.
I mean, gays are a minority, I guess. So you could be sexual. You're a minority, but I don't know.
So
it's
if
too
I
confusing.
filled out an application for Tony's,
Yeah.
does it say male or female on there?
It does not.
It does not.
No.
Oh, okay. Do you have a requirement for
I
how
don't
many
care.
men to women you have to hire?
No, at this point in time, as long as you show up for work and show up on time,
You don't care who it is.
No, it doesn't matter.
You don't care who it is.
I don't give a shit.
So if one of your male employees came
Yes.
in addressed tomorrow, you
Right.
you wouldn't say two words. You'd just say, go roll some dough.
Well, I'd say what happened.
You
Who violated you?
You'd say what happened
And go back to work. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
if it makes you happy, just as long as you got the work shirt on, as long as you have the,
As long as you have the Tony
leave
shirt,
the gun, take the cannoli shirt on, you'll be all right.
then you're not going to blink twice.
I can't.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay. So the our governor of our state, the Hochul lady,
Fantastic.
she's a piece of work.
Well, she's doing her best to try to
Doing her best.
Yes, to collect money. Although I do have to say this. Hold on, let me take this is my third Negroni after all. I just want to let you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so
she had protesters telling her to go to hell.
well, of course there's a she only won the governor's race by I think 3 points.
She won
in
by
New York State.
default.
No, not by default.
Well, no. Oh,
Lee
when
Zeldin,
she won,
Lee
yeah,
Zeldin,
Lee
right?
Zeldin
Lee
was
Zeldin
close.
was right there.
No, I know.
He's probably
I know.
3 or 4 points off.
I know. No, it was
From
the
winning the
closest-
election.
It was.
Right,
It would have been the first time
a
we had.
Republican since
Pataki.
Pataki,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, but what she's doing now, the laws or the laws that she sent, okay, and that she's tried to set up in the state are detrimental to the progress. She's going overly progressive, and it's going to kill us. Hey, Dave, what are you in a cave? Are you driving?
I'm driving. Yeah, I'm driving. I'm going
Dave.
Maria style, but the dark version.
Yeah, you are.
Dave, I just want to say Happy Inseminated Person Day.
Oh, happy inseminated person day. That sounds great.
He knows that too.
Sure, he would. He actually reads.
You knew that they're calling mothers inseminated people.
Is that
He didn't know that. He didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He's
Well,
laughing.
When is that the case?
See, I told you, he didn't know.
Wisconsin, Dave. Wisconsin. The governor has put it into the Wisconsin budget for 2025 to 2027 that they are trying to go more gender neutral with the constituents of his state. So they are I forget it. Father is going to be a person, and the mother is going to be an inseminated person. So he was not Happy Mother's Day anymore. It's Happy Inseminated Person Day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Inseminated Person's Day.
See,
it sounds so sexual.
that's crazy. Dave,
That doesn't even seem real.
It doesn't, but in Wisconsin, apparently it is. It hasn't been passed yet, but it will be. It will be. It's Wisconsin, man.
Dave, do you know, can transgender people get pregnant?
I don't know if it'll be passed at Wisconsin, because Wisconsin did Wisconsin go for Trump?
Yes.
I don't think
It did?
Yeah, I don't know if it will. That'll be interesting. That'll tell you a lot if it does. What was your question, Steve?
Can transgender people get pregnant?
Well, I guess if it's a female transgender who becomes a male but still has her lady parts, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying
There's
to
only
figure
two
that out.
sexes. There's male and female.
See, I
You're
said
off,
that.
Dave.
That's the
You're
science.
off. You're
That's the
off,
science.
Dave. No, you're off. You're one of those weirdos. You're one of those weirdos.
Unless you have both parts, then you're called a hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite, right?
Right. No. But men can definitely have children. I've seen it on Vanity Fair, and I think that
Men cannot have children.
they can.
Where's it planted? Where's it come out?
They had it. They
you
said the
shitting?
first male that had a baby. Remember? Did you see it? Vanity Fair. They had him on the cover. He had his belly.
I don't get
He had
Vanity
his-
Fair. I
he had his-
apologize.
He had
Do you have a beard? Do you have a
He had a
beard?
beard. He had a beard. He had a beard. He had his pregnant belly right there, and his wife was there cuddling up next to him.
You sure it wasn't a monkey?
No, I don't think so. It wasn't that hairy.
Wow. That's just as scary.
Yep.
I don't think I'd ever want to get pregnant.
Sure, you would.
No, I don't. I'm not feeling it. So Doge has been under fire quite a bit lately, and I didn't even know this. Doge apparently existed before this, but it was under a different name.
Yeah, it was called a coin. Dogecoin?
Did Trump? Oh my God, Logan Brown.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I'll pull it up right now. I'll get the picture for you.
I really don't want to see a picture.
Yeah, you do. Sure, you do. What are you talking
Of
about?
what?
Transgender guy.
There really is a man that's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got to find it.
Oh, it's transgender. Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy.
No, it's not a guy.
That's what they say. You have to believe the 47% of the country. It's a guy.
Okay. All right.
Well, nothing could be worse than that girl who was going out with a guy, and then she started hooking up with her father.
Oh my God.
Oh, I saw
hear
that.
about that? The
Yeah,
Instagram star?
Old Miss. Old Miss, right? Oh, she goes to Old
Don't
Miss.
don't miss, yeah.
It's fantastic. They said that the father, so the son was dating this girl, and the father took his girlfriend and and his daughter, the girlfriend of his son and his own daughter, to a hockey game or something like that, to a game, and then dropped the daughter back home and took his son's girlfriend out to dinner, and then ended up hooking up with her and banging her.
I thought you said it was the daughter.
No, the daughter was with him at the game, but then he dropped his daughter off.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he banged
Right.
the daughter.
No.
Oh,
he
he banged the son's
he
girlfriend?
banged his son's
Oh,
girlfriend.
there's
Yeah,
nothing wrong
she's
with
like
that.
19 or something, or 18.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right. And so now his wife is going to divorce him because he's been.
Oh, he was married.
yeah.
Oh, well, then that's
He's
adultery.
been fooling around for a while, but the boyfriend took the girlfriend back.
Well,
She said she'd never do it again.
the heart wants what the heart wants.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a social media frenzy.
And this person's
Wow.
famous?
Well, she is now.
I think she was like I don't know. I'm not sure. How about the Steve Smith thing? Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He
Oh.
slept with a Baltimore Ravens band member. She was married. She is married. And
the Ravens have a band?
yeah, the Ravens got a band. Yeah, like the
Yeah, I
Redskins.
didn't know that
do.
either.
Yeah. So
He slept with a band member.
yeah, he ended up doing a segment for Fox on different, what does Steve Smith do in different job areas or something like that. And actually, I know what he's doing. He's fucking other women. So bottom line, he hooks up with this band member and texts back and forth all the time, and all the texts are down, all that. And the husband finds out and ends up calling Steve Smith. And Steve,
that must have been interesting.
and he recorded it. He recorded the call, and he has Steve Smith saying, "I'm sorry." Like, "Hey man, where you slept with my wife? What do you got to say for yourself?" He's like, "I'm sorry," and then he didn't say anything after that. He hung up after a minute of the guy going, "I got you a text here. I got you all your messages right here."
So what did he put the sound out for everyone to hear?
Yes.
Yeah, it was all out there. It's all out there.
So he publicly shamed him.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
public shaming stuff.
He
That's
kind of
horrible.
looks bad himself, but Steve Smith it looks worse because he's married with kids. So
Right.
you know what I'm
So-
saying?
Steve
So his
Smith is
wife-
married with kids.
Yes,
Steve Smith.
he's married to
Wow.
the woman he met in college.
That's a mess.
She was in a band too. She was in the
was she
Bangles. She was in the Bangles.
That's awful. That's absolutely awful.
It happens.
Yeah, it's awful. It's
It happens.
definitely awful.
That's like 10 people's lives you ruined.
It happens.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people, children. Both have, I think, an extensive amount of children.
Wow, they really weren't thinking about their significant others.
No.
Okay,
Now they're getting it on. And if you see the text messages, it was, "I like it when you're in deep" and all this kind of stuff.
No, he said that.
Who hasn't said that before in a text message? Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Who hasn't said that?
Of course.
Thank God there wasn't text messaging when you were in college. That would have been
It's
trouble.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what these guys are doing. They're crazy. These people. They're crazy.
They have no fear. There's no fear. There's absolutely no fear at all. So, is Doge technically unconstitutional? Do you think it's unconstitutional?
No.
It's not.
No.
Okay.
No, because there is no elected position that has to be in charge of these searches.
Well, people don't really like Elon Musk.
Well, they did like him when he was building electric cars and shooting people to the moon and being a philanthropist and doing all this great.
He was a philanthropist.
Yeah, doing all this great liberal stuff, right? Saving the planet. When he was
liberal stuff's philanthropy.
Well, giving away your stuff and the whole electric vehicle thing. It's saving the planet.
Okay.
We're not drilling for fossil fuel, right?
But I thought we just got we got minerals from Ukraine. I thought
we haven't gotten anything yet from Ukraine.
I thought he made the
doesn't
agreement.
matter. Yeah, but we're not getting fossil fuel mineral from Ukraine. We're getting other stuff.
Okay.
But bottom line, you got to realize that they loved Tesla. They loved Elon Musk. This was the darling of the liberal. And then all of a sudden,
he's a liberal?
He's on a stage and he's doing handsprings for Donald Trump. He's the devil.
He was a liberal, Elon Musk. He was a Democrat.
He never declared what his political affiliation was until recently. No,
okay.
Until recently.
Nobody knew.
No. I mean, somebody's probably knew, but more and more he'd been sliding. You could see with some of the rhetoric he had, especially after he purchased Twitter. When he purchased Twitter and he said he was going to clean it up because bottom line.
Well, he stopped censoring.
They were censoring it. I think that's where all of a sudden the love started to leave. It oozed out of all those liberals because then
it's freedom of speech.
It doesn't matter.
He was just following the law.
You can't protect the weak and the vulnerable if there's freedom of speech. You understand that?
Well, if you're just stupid then.
No,
you're not weak and vulnerable.
No,
from speech.
Yes, because if you're weak,
you can't talk.
Right, because if someone is picking on someone else, that's bullying with verbal language.
It's bullying,
and the weak and the vulnerable get bullied too much
on Twitter.
Right. Oh yeah,
and he doesn't censor enough people on Twitter, so that's why people stop not liking him.
Correct, in a way, in a way. And then once he was on stage with Trump, it was over. It was over.
How old is Elon Musk?
He's probably early 50s, maybe I would say, somewhere in there.
Dave, is Elon Musk autistic?
Autistic? I don't think he's autistic.
Or he's got like Asperger's or something?
Yeah, he might have a slight, I don't know. I heard him talk about something. I don't know. All I know is he's brilliant.
He's a genius, right?
I mean, I don't know if he is or he isn't. Probably score higher on an IQ test than me, even though my IQ is very high. But,
thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, you know what I have to say is that on these IQ tests, don't take them at 3 a.m. when you're doing work and you're tired. Right. I've taken them where I've scored 145. I've taken them when I've rushed. I've scored 125. And then one time I was exhausted and I was just bored, and I took one. And I wasn't really responding fast enough, but it was 2 a.m. I scored like 105 or something. So when you take it, and you have to be alert.
So, okay, but Elon Musk, so you're saying if I sat you down next to Elon Musk and you took an IQ test, you could score higher than him?
No, he's probably 150s. I would guess 160.
Isn't 180 genius?
I don't know that he's 180, but he's probably 150s, 160s.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever Mensa is, he's probably Mensa.
Do you know anyone who's 180?
Do I know anyone that's? I know like one
170?
person. I know one person that's in the 160s when she was young. My father was 139 or 140. My aunt, or whatever you want to call it, she was in the 160s.
Whoa.
She was a teacher. She was a teacher for a million years, but she was in the 160s.
Dave, Steve says I can't use the word retarded.
You can't say retard anymore.
Why?
I heard, you know what? I heard Jason Whitlock use it over and over again the other day.
Right.
He did?
Yes.
Who is he talking about?
I don't know. He said you could use the R word again. I didn't know if you could.
Oh,
I told you.
All right. Listen, I thought it was politically incorrect.
No.
I don't like to use that word once I heard it was offensive, because I'll tell you why. Like when in the 80s, and Frank will relate to this. And by the way, as I'm driving, I'm listening to 80s and 90s country music. But in the 80s and 90s, like, you use that word like, to not to make fun of people that have Down syndrome,
right?
But like, make fun of your friends, right?
Stupid people. Yeah. Stupid people.
Yeah, exactly. But once I once knew this this girl, and I have no idea what her political stance is, but I knew this girl who had a brother that was Down syndrome, and she was very offended by the word, and I was taken aback. I didn't really understand. So, but she explained it to me. So I said to myself, you know what? It's not worth offending people. I have a relative.
You're offensive enough as it is.
I'm offensive for the right reasons.
So you don't need to use the word.
I don't want to be offensive for the wrong reasons. I want to be offensive for the right reasons. You know what I mean? So to me, this, and listen, I don't care if somebody uses it. That's their prerogative. I don't think it's, but it's not like some of these other things. But I do think I personally try not to use it, because it just I just think about what that person said to me, and I was like, geez, like they were so upset, So.
Yep.
So
I had the same. I don't use the word. I put it out here on the air tonight just to spark some interest here.
Yeah. No, it's a topic of interest now.
Oh, yeah. But
the word or people.
No, the word. I don't care. I was coaching at the high school level, and we were all the team was all together, and I was just, somebody was waving their hands and doing something stupid, and it's just back in the 90s, and I waving my hands in the air back to him, and I go, "What are you, retarded?" Yeah. And our center was an all conference player, great kid, Ryan McCormick. He had a brother who was mentally challenged, man.
You're saying challenge now?
Yeah, well, because I don't use the word. I brought the word up in jest today. But bottom line, I didn't know about it, but the next day, one of the assistant coaches told me, he goes, "Listen, the kid's he's in tears right now, because you used the word, retarded out there, and his brother's, mentally slower, and he feels terrible that you don't." So and he went back and told his parents, and his parents went to the head coach, and it was crazy. Story. I did. So I wrote a letter of apology to the parents. I apologized to the kid directly, so I don't use that word anymore. In jest right here, right now, I'll use it, but that's not something that I use. But I mean, it's just words, man. People get, I don't know.
Can you still say the short bus?
Yeah, I think you can say the short bus.
The short bus.
Well, that's a thing.
That's
a real thing.
We used to call it the big blue bus. I don't know about the short bus. We used to have the big blue bus.
Kids who were like special.
They take the short bus.
Yes, I don't know if you can use that either anymore.
I think you can. That's a real thing. You're describing a vehicle.
So my thing is on stuff like that. People are physically challenged of none of their own fault, right? They're born that way. The way I look at it is, if that bothers them, don't use it. Now, when you get to things like transgender and you get to like when people are making up pronouns, like that's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
when they're saying Z and Zer, I don't understand that.
right, just like just like I don't think you should use racial slurs or ethnic slurs, right? For the same, that's a real thing. I understand why someone would be upset about that. Okay, I can, and I get why people. I understand why people are upset if you don't use their pronouns because they're in their head. They think you're offending them. But like we have to have a line of ridiculousness, and that crosses the line of ridiculousness. Yes.
That was an MTV show, by the way, Ridiculousness, right?
So okay. So what does the pronoun thing mean again? If I say the he him stuff,
like for example, my pronouns on LinkedIn, because they say you can have pronouns. Mine are winner, leader.
But if you say I want to be identified by a pronoun,
right?
So what does it mean? Because I see people with he, him.
Well, like if they use they, them, they obviously want to identify as multiple identities.
Okay,
right. Right. That's what it is.
Zer, I don't understand.
There's that many pronouns.
Oh, as there are genders.
Non-binary, is that a pronoun? Non-binary.
Yeah, I'm non-binary.
I don't think that's a pronoun. Is that a pronoun?
No,
that's just an identification.
No.
It's a gender. Yeah, you don't identify as male or female.
Right.
You're non-binary.
Well,
you're they.
I'll be frank. Identify. You know how computers they have like ones and zeros. Yeah. You know, like from the Matrix and computer stuff. I identify as ones and zeros.
Okay.
One.
Yes, I'm a computer.
That's great.
So we had talked about the wildfire thing last week.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Mel Gibson not happy about it, and he blames the governor. Yeah, he blamed the governor for not responding swift enough, and called for a federal investigation. He said that he thought that they could have been prevented, and he doesn't like Governor Newsom. And Trump has him is like appointed to something.
He's the ambassador for Hollywood.
Hollywood needs an ambassador?
Hollywood? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's not a country.
No, it's not. But you have to have proper representation.
Hollywood has an ambassador.
Absolutely. It's him,
and they picked him. Isn't he conservative?
It's Angelina Jolie's father.
Oh, I like him, John Voight.
Yeah, and it's somebody else. I forget.
I'll be right back. I'm dropping something off here real quick.
All right.
Mel Gibson conservative?
It's not that heroin drop off, is it, Dave?
No.
Isn't he conservative?
Who? Mel Gibson?
Yeah,
he's very conservative. So is John Voight.
Why does Hollywood need an ambassador?
Hollywood needs conservative ambassadors to go in and shake up the liberal tones of Hollywood.
Hollywood's very liberal.
It's too liberal.
You can't watch a TV show. It's
too liberal. It's too liberal. It's every guy and girl who was in theater or in dance or in, you know what I mean? And so they're a little softer. They're sensitive. They're sensitive people. They have bigger hearts. Probably that's what I heard.
So that's why California is a blue state.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love everyone in
California.
In California, they love everyone until they don't pay their taxes.
Well, is that why he let so many people cross the border? That Newsom guy?
Yeah. Listen, that's the master plan of the Democratic Party over the last 4 years.
Let people cross the border.
Correct. Mass.
That's not good.
Well, it's not good for you and me. But it's good for voter rolls. You understand? It's basically
vote if you're undocumented.
It's basically a copycat of the voting party, the voting rolls back in the late 1800s, early 1900s in this country.
Immigrants voted?
Probably more back then than now, although you don't know what happens right now. They could probably right. But the thing is that the idea is to do favors, right?
Yeah.
For people in your district or in your constituents.
Sure.
And then in turn, they would pass you their vote.
Right.
So bottom line, by allowing all these people to come over, remember the Haitian guy just recently who got arrested, and he said, F Donald Trump.
He did.
I love Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the man, right?
He said that.
Yeah. And then he said, I'm not going back to Haiti. And then they cut to a picture of Tom Homan, the border czar, and he said, unfortunately, he's going back to Haiti, right? So you got to understand, by allowing these people to come in.
Wait a second. How did he come from Haiti? You got to take a boat.
Yeah. Well, you don't
the
take
guy
a boat.
rode a boat.
You got to take a boat. You could take a boat from there to Mexico and then cross over to Mexico.
That's a long way.
Well, it's a long way, but it is what it is. That's how people get in.
So people from Haiti take boats to Mexico.
Yeah, or to Cuba, or to Cuba, or to South Florida. Wow. Or to the coast of Bama, or wherever it is, wherever Texas, who knows where they can, get on shore.
Is Haiti a bad place?
Is that a
rhetorical question?
No, Haiti's that bad?
Haiti is.
Oh, there's genocide in Haiti, right?
No, it's not genocide.
Oh,
there's a lot of times it's martial law, but there's starvation in Haiti. We talked about that. Remember when the Haitians were eating the trees and there were no more trees in Haiti? And
they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Right. Don't you remember? We talked about this. We talked about this months ago before the election.
We did a whole pod on this, I think.
Are there transgenders in Haiti?
I'm sure there are.
I can't see them tolerating
well, it's not that they tolerate. They don't. If there's not many of them and they're not very public out there, they don't care.
They don't.
They wouldn't bother them. Listen, I told you, there's been transgenders throughout history. Thousands of years.
That there were no transgenders in the Civil War.
Absolutely.
I just know, Shakespeare plays that they're all men played the parts.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't make you transgender. Right.
No, not at all.
And they couldn't do the surgery back then.
LGBTQ?
No, there couldn't have been
LGBTQ back then. They were out. Don't you remember?
There were gay people in the Civil War.
Don't you remember Caligula?
Well, Caligula just.
That's a crazy movie. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Well, that was our nickname for one of our head coaches.
Yeah, it's insanity.
He called him Caligula.
He was Coach Gilmore. Yeah, we nicknamed him Caligula because he was nuts and crazy. But once I read about Caligula, it kind of fit, other than the sexual pervasiveness.
Well, I thought that was the most important thing about Caligula.
Right. That's all I remembered. I don't know about it. Was there a political? There was a political statement in Caligula.
Well, yeah, Caligula was a iron ruler, dictator, crazy man.
Yeah,
but he was known for his sexual prowess.
Right. That's all I remember.
So he was banging men.
He was banging anything that was there.
Oh God!
Horses. They were bringing everything. It didn't matter.
Caligula was a hedonist.
Right.
Oh, that's okay. Hedonist just means you like to be naked, right?
That's okay.
Isn't that what it means?
What?
You're naked if you're hedon. Hedon. You like to be naked.
No. You're not just naked if you're a hedonist.
Oh, what is it?
You have no sexual boundaries. You're a filthy animal in the sexual realm.
You mean you just do it anywhere?
Anything, anywhere, anything that moves.
Anything, anywhere.
Anything that moves is fair game.
Oh, okay. So Caligula was a hedonist.
Well, yeah, apparently everybody around him was too.
And Dave, you said there's a movie on Caligula?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Caligula originally was, I think, I want to say originally was good. And then when he got power, as invariably happens, he became very rich, and then he basically lost his. I don't know. People think he lost his mind. I don't know. I really don't.
Oh my God! This sounds like Donald Trump.
Wait, where did Caligula rule?
Where did Caligula?
Wasn't it Rome? Rome wasn't it Italy?
Oh, he's Italian.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God. So you could be related to him.
Probably.
Well,
Probably.
if he had sex with so many people, I mean, there's got to be something.
It's been passed down.
It's more like it wasn't like I don't really want to get into this whole discussion, but basically, he had no rules. Is the best way I could put it.
Right.
You mean laws or rules?
Well, he had laws. He broke all of them. I mean,
Steve, he didn't care. He didn't care.
And you said there's a movie. I want to watch the movie.
He liked bathhouses. He liked.
It's like a 70s movie, isn't it? 60s or 70s movie?
I mean, literally, like, you know, multiple people. I mean, it was great parties and like, you should watch the movie.
It was P. Diddy. It was P. Diddy.
Sounds like he was just
P. Diddy.
A couple thousand years too late.
Yeah, no, right? he had Johnson. That's where Johnson & Johnson was created. It was during Caligula's time back in 400 BC or whatever it was.
Wow.
Yeah. Johnson & Johnson. They brought the baby oil out.
Caligula started that.
Caligula started baby oil. And it got passed down through generations, and then P. Diddy ended up with it. Whoops.
Well, P. Diddy's not Italian.
Wow. You don't know that. He could be Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
One of my favorite songs is on right now. Everything's all right. I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself.
Is that Garth Brooks?
What?
Is that Garth Brooks?
Yeah.
Okay. You listen to Garth Brooks? You really are a redneck. You live in Jersey.
What's wrong with Garth Brooks?
Guys in Jersey don't listen to country music.
How about Jersey now? How about the governor of New Jersey?
What about him? What happened?
The governor of Jersey with the what was he proposing now? The new budget.
Oh, I do know.
He needs to add 1.5 billion to the budget.
Well, what was it for? It was for
Yes, it was a specific. I can't remember. I'm on my third Negroni over here, Dave. Negroni? I apologize.
What's Negroni?
Yeah, enjoy that.
It's a blended drink.
A blended drink.
We added a little Tanqueray. It's a Tanqueray.
Is it Mexican
Negroni.
or something? The Negroni?
No, Italian.
Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Negroni. Okay, yeah. I should have known by the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here. Made with Tanqueray London Dry Gin, vermouth, and bitters.
Wow, that sounds good.
Oh, it's fantastic. But I forget. It was 1.5 billion. I don't know if it was for. Oh, I can't remember what policy or liberal view it was for.
Do they have high taxes in Jersey?
Yes, they do.
More than us?
They are an equivalent level.
Yeah, I would say on par. New York City probably has the worst, I'm guessing.
Yes. New York City would have the New York.
Oh, because also Jersey wasn't going to comply with the transgender in sports rule that Trump had laid down.
That's what it was.
Yeah. They're joining. Yeah, they're joining Maine, California, and what was the third state there?
Mass.
No, I would think it would be Mass, but I don't know. Maybe Wisconsin or Minnesota. Yeah, it's insanity. Whatever. But I'm really what shocks me, Dave, about this entire last 37 days of Trump being in office is the amount of pushback that there is on all the findings of the hundreds of billions of dollars that is being wasted on programs that have nothing to do with the average American.
Yeah.
People
think it's fake.
I'm astounded at the pushback by the far left liberals, by Democrats in general. So the way they've been diverting attention from that is they're challenging why Trump and Musk are in charge of this. It should be a congressional review. Well, you have to be stupid to put that point up, because the Congress people were the ones that approved all these budgets in the first place. And they didn't do their due diligence to track where the money appropriated. Well, they just, it's going to USAID. I mean, that's a international relief fund, and they do such great work with the AIDS victims in Congo. So let's give them all the money they need. And then they do no due diligence on the back end of where the money has been shuttled out to, laundered, and then circled back around.
Laundered?
laundered. They launder the money.
It was laundered.
Laundered. You know that term or no?
I do.
Okay.
I didn't know that you could launder government funding.
Absolutely, you can. Once it
Wow.
starts going to a third or fourth party contractor, you can't trace where that money is,
Oh, okay.
and the money gets disseminated right back into the politicians' pockets. I will be very excited to see how the next 6 months to a year progress with Bondi as the Attorney General.
Pam.
Yes, and with Kash Patel as FBI.
Pam's hot.
And she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
And with J.D. Vance pushing the issue of investigating U.S. politicians and to see what funds have been put into their accounts. You're going to see this happen.
Whoa.
What funds have been put into their accounts through third-party supporters, donators, or funding groups for money coming back from what they approved on these budgets going to all these programs. I
thought you're limited to how much you can donate.
You are limited to donate. These are not donations.
Oh,
these are either
kickbacks.
Yes, either payouts, kickbacks, investment opportunities, properties.
Oh, is that why you said Nancy Pelosi did so well in the stock market?
She is a stock market guru
because she's smart.
You know, there's an app now. A guy sent me it. You could pay and get you copy people's trades.
All her trades, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean, and like follow people's trades and stuff.
You day trade during the day. You follow anyone?
No, and I'm down like 20 grand so far in the last month just because the market took a dive.
Yeah,
but bottom line is, and it's not like it just happens on the liberal side. Don't get me wrong on this. The senator from Alabama used to be the Auburn head coach, Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Big time investor. This guy is another genius. He is way up there with Nancy Pelosi.
An econ major.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. That's how it usually works in the market. You just an econ major, you know which ones to pick right off the bat.
Well, maybe he interned on Wall Street or something.
Of course he did. Yeah, while he was coaching at Auburn. So what I'm trying to say is that I am of the angle that we have to get at every politician. I have got to know
you want an open book.
I want an open book. I want to know how you got your money, because I want to see what interest group, what lobbyist, what third party contractor, how you got your money. I want to know how. I think it was $2 billion at the time, or maybe more. I may be wrong. Maybe it's $20 billion. Went to the Clinton Foundation to go to Haiti to start reconstruction of Port-au-Prince after the earthquake that happened in Haiti.
Start what?
Reconstruction.
Of what?
Port-au-Prince.
What's Port-au-Prince?
Is porta-potty. Port-au-Prince is the capital of Haiti. Okay.
Is it?
Massive earthquake. Back.
I'll be right back. One more stop.
Right. You got it. Keep dropping that heroin. Massive earthquake. Okay, destroyed Haiti. I mean, raised Haiti. Money flowed in from around the world, including X amount of billions from the United States, all being managed and governed by the Clinton Foundation.
Well, it was nice of the Clinton Foundation.
They volunteered their services,
of course.
Very
nice of them to do
So
that.
It was going in for reconstruction of Port-au-Prince.
So Port-au-Prince must look great.
It does. It has one new commercial building up.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound like billions, right?
No, it doesn't cost
billions. And billions translate into how much, 25 years ago, whenever the money was
God, $1 billion in Haiti, that's got to be worth the whole country.
It's a lot of money. And bottom line, nothing has happened.
Well, where's the money? In the Clinton Foundation still?
Yes. Well, probably there and dispersed. Well, I know Chelsea Clinton. Money was donated from USAID. Money was donated from USAID to Chelsea Clinton.
What? She's not in politics.
Tens of millions.
She in politics?
I forget what she worked in exactly. She was in some sort of some groups, but bottom line, she had a $10 million wedding. I think it was.
She did?
Yeah. Yeah, and she bought or maybe it was a $4 million wedding, and she bought a $10 million property. She bought a house.
I would have married her.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't? And all that money seemed to come from USAID.
They paid for her wedding.
They didn't pay directly, but they paid her company.
So they laundered the money.
Basically, that's how you do it.
Wow.
You pay money to a company. You pay money to a company for services. and the services are never rendered, but the money has gone into that company's account.
It goes right back into the company account.
That's basically,
and then the company disperses it to the people.
That's basically how it works. The company doesn't disperse to the people. It just goes right to the owner of the company.
So if I give you $1 million,
right,
and it goes to your company,
yeah,
and then you give it back to me,
right?
Oh, okay,
yeah, sure, absolutely.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Huh. Have you done that? Did people give you money and then it goes into your pocket?
No, people give me money and I give them food.
Oh, okay. Right, for services.
Right, services rendered.
Right, okay. So you actually do the service.
Right.
They're not doing the service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's I can't believe that. She had a $4 million wedding. And who's USAID again?
It's a government organization put together.
Does it still exist? Or
it's been shut down right now. I think there are still some employees there, but it's been shut down as far as for handing out money to most of the things that it took care of.
Really?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Who's Glenn Beck?
Well, Glenn Beck's a huge socially conservative radio show host. And
did USAID really fund?
Yeah, here are the facts. Yeah.
That's really well. Maybe USAID funds other people's weddings.
No, I don't think so.
They don't.
I think the money is diverted purposely to liberal causes, liberal politicians.
Did Chelsea Clinton know this? Did she know that the USAID paid for
I am sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, that's even worse.
Yeah. Well, what is what it is.
I mean, she's a Clinton.
Right.
She should know better.
Yeah.
They've had enough scandals.
They've
the Clintons have had more scandals than anyone.
They're smart to divert funds in proper channels that allow it to really be covered up pretty well. I mean, it's crazy how.
But it's not covered up. It paid for a wedding.
Well, you don't know if that paid directly. Right. You don't know directly if it's paid for the wedding.
But it said right there that it was.
Well, you can't trust every sport.
It is.
Yeah, right, Glenn Beck. No, he says he doesn't know for sure.
Wow.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So these government plans, Congress approved them. So if I go to Congress and say I want to do prostate exams in Kenya.
Yes.
And I put together a plan.
Sounds
Congress
good.
will sign off on it.
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Okay. Dave, I want to do that. Can we draw up a plan? Yeah. I want to start a program for prostate exams in Kenya.
You know what I wanted? Well, I'm sure. Listen, wait till the Democrats are in power. You can probably get $20 million.
Easy.
Right?
Easy.
Is it that hard to ask for federal funding?
Supposedly, these people were just not redlining, just approving these things without even I don't know.
Well, you tried to get a grant here, and you had to fill out an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
To get $40,000.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
$40,000.
I just found it. I find it insulting that all these liberals are saying it's got to go back for congressional review on what departments have to be cut or slashed. These departments are created by Congress, and they obviously haven't monitored their own shit for years. So, bottom line, if they're getting cut right now, it's their own fault. Cut it. Start from new.
How about Dan Bongino?
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Who?
Dan Bongino.
Who's that?
Oh my God. Former Secret Service agent, former police officer, has an incredibly successul podcast. Probably the greatest podcaster in the universe.
Yeah, might be the best.
No.
Him or Bill O'Reilly.
Right. And he was just put in position as the assistant FBI director under Kash Patel.
So my podcast, Dave and I, if our podcasts do well, we could be in charge of the FBI?
No. We were not Secret Service. No,
he was Secret Service.
They were questioning Dan Bongino. Why should he be? What credentials does he have? I don't know. He was in the military. He's a police officer and a Secret Service agent. He's got a pretty good resume. Why do they think they need these ultra smart, non-productive, socially timid people in charge of departments that need young, successful, energetic blood to drive them? I don't understand.
Young, energetic blood.
Yeah. Can't have all these old farts in here working all these.
But everyone who's young is liberal.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Cash Patel is not liberal. Bongino's not liberal.
Well, they're not
Pete
young.
Hegseth. Well, they're in their 40s or 50s.
That's not young.
That's young.
That's young.
To be a director, that is young.
So you're saying Cash Patel's young to be the director of the FBI?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Comey guy the director of the FBI?
Yes.
How old was he?
He was older. He was older than Cash Patel.
40s.
Right.
But the Comey guy wasn't good.
Wasn't good for you.
No,
Or
I
for
just
me.
thought he wasn't good overall.
No, here's what happened. Comey interfered so much.
Didn't he impeach Trump twice?
No.
Oh.
The FBI director does not impeach Trump.
Okay.
Well, what Comey did was actually stick his foot in his mouth because he possibly cost Hillary Clinton the election
He did.
when he
Right.
ended up saying that they were investigating those emails, the possibility that there could be something wrong. And then all of a sudden, Trump wins the election and they blame it on Comey in a way.
Right.
On his statements.
But she did something wrong with the emails, right?
She took a hammer to her server.
Yeah. So she was right.
Yeah, usually I don't do that in my house when I got something. She took a hammer to her server to hide and smash all the information that was there as far as what she sent out. Hillary Clinton is the biggest slimeball, sleaze, snake person ever to come into politics.
Well,
I can't come. What Richard Nixon
only
did?
a senator.
What Richard Nixon did pales in comparison to what Hillary Clinton did in her campaign.
What did the Watergate thing?
Pales in comparison.
What did the he recorded shit, right?
He tried to subvert just as the Clinton campaign promoted and produced the Steele dossier to mess with the entire Trump campaign. Richard Nixon did it on a smaller level by trying to make, I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson, right? He was trying to make LBJ look like an idiot.
Well, LBJ looked like an idiot all on his own. I don't think he needed help.
Right. But
Right?
but that's what I'm saying. Richard Nixon didn't have to do that.
He was already in office.
Nixon didn't have to do that, but he was scared, figuring that he was going to lose the election because of the war.
He was already in office.
Yes. Well, listen.
And he would have won.
Who took over for him?
Right. What's that?
Who took over for Nixon?
Well, Kennedy beat
Ford.
Nixon.
No, who took over?
Excuse me. No, Ford. Right. Gerald Ford.
And then he lost.
Yeah, Gerald Ford only lasted. It was only 2 years, right, or a year and a half. Ford was president.
Why do they call him president then?
Because when you take over, you are the president. Somebody has to be the king in charge.
So okay, so he was only president for 2 years,
Less than that. I think Ford was president for like a year and a half.
and they consider him like a president.
You're the president.
Oh.
If the president gets shot, the vice president is the president.
So Kamala's going to go down as a president.
No,
Okay,
she would.
never
Biden finished his term.
Biden was the president.
I thought she took over for him. They made him. Oh, they made him not run. Is
Yeah,
that what
they
it
made him
was?
not run.
Yes.
That was an
Yes.
election.
Okay.
You
Okay.
are the greatest podcaster.
You are number one.
No, I thought that she took over for him. So she didn't take over for him.
No, but
She took his place.
I'll tell you who took over for him. It was Jill Biden and Hunter Biden. They were in
Jill Biden.
as has been exposed right now.
But
By one
Hunter
of Clinton's
Biden's a bad
assistants.
person.
You know, we should change the podcast name to.
Well, two geniuses and an idiot.
That's one you could. I was gonna say the education of Steve Colley.
No, but I thought
Or we could call it political sci major Steve Colley.
Right.
so so Biden just didn't run again.
Never went to a class. Steve Cully.
So he didn't run again. That's what
Who?
it was.
Who?
They wouldn't let him run again. Biden. He finished his term.
Yeah, he finished his term,
Oh,
but
I
they
thought he
wouldn't.
stepped down.
They want no.
Oh,
no. What
okay.
step down? Where
I
you
thought he
been?
stepped down.
Where you been?
Well, I didn't know he was actually running shit.
Well, in the
After he
last
stepped down.
in the last few months of his
Presidency.
presidency, he wasn't running anything.
Yes, that's my point.
But that doesn't mean he's not president. Jill Biden and Hunter Biden were sitting in on more.
There was no transition of power to any other person.
Correct. They were sitting in on more top level meetings.
Well, he was napping
for his administration than any other person. And Biden was out. Biden was out getting an ice cream and a lobotomy. Okay.
Well, bottom line, he was not involved in the day-to-day process.
In all fairness to Biden, he shouldn't have won the election. But in all fairness to Biden, he is old. Like, I mean,
right.
Well, he's 81.
Yeah, but you listen. You have a new president in office right now who looks like he is on speed.
Well, he probably
is. He's old, but he's sharp.
Right. He's
what's Trump? 78.
78. He's constantly in the.
He's a machine.
He has done more press conferences.
Yeah,
in this
Biden
second term
year
than in the 37 days, and that Biden did in 4 years.
4 years, yeah, I know.
And that's because his administration shielded him from press conferences.
Well, they had to script the questions.
The guy was doing the 2-foot shuffle when he was walking around trying to get out of the room. The reporters usually, when a president wants to get out of the room and he doesn't want to be asked any more questions, he just high steps it out of the room. Biden was doing the 6-inch shuffle with his feet, like the guys you see in Florida that are 98 years old.
So, if Biden actually had stayed in, do you think he would have won? No chance.
No, absolutely not. It would have just been worse. It would have been worse. It would have been worse of a landslide because you would have had less and less Democrats voting.
Right.
Kamala was horrible, but Biden would have got killed by more than Kamala did.
Because they said they weren't going to vote for Biden. There were so many young liberals and Democrats who said, "I'm not voting for Biden. I can't vote for that guy. He's fucking retarded." See, I used the word again.
Well, I think it's appropriate when you're describing him.
Yeah,
he took naps.
Right.
He worked 4 hours a day.
Right.
Trump works like 18 hours a day.
You call what he does work?
Who?
Biden. He did.
Oh, he didn't
nothing. They showed him. He was in meetings. He was in United Nations meetings, falling asleep. The guy was dozing. He was sleeping.
How old's your dad?
91.
We could put him in.
My dad just bought another building. He's going to remodel it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My dad don't speak English.
He probably
can't read. Job. My dad can't read.
He's not illiterate. Be better.
Who? My dad?
Your dad's illiterate?
He reads at like a 3rd grade level.
Oh my God.
3rd, 4th grade level, maybe.
So Dave, before we go, can you tell me 5 things you did this week?
Touch myself.
Say that again.
5 things that you accomplished this week. 5 things that you accomplished this week.
5 things I accomplished this week.
Yeah. I just want to.
We lost him. He can't answer it. I'm sorry, Dave. You've lost your job with the federal government because you have not filled out the rest of the questionnaire on what 5 things that you've done this week.
I just wanted to make sure and see what he did this week.
He went off the road. He couldn't believe the question. He said, "This is ridiculous."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kamala wasn't actually president. That's crazy.
Kamala was not president.
Because do you think she'll run again?
She will not run again.
Really?
They will not. They do not want her to be the candidate.
What did she do so poorly?
Basically, she presented herself as an incompetent person to answer even the most remotely easy political question.
Was she word salad?
Yes, you could say that over and over again, but her positions were incoherent. Her positions were not realistic.
Right.
Her positions did nothing for the average person as far as wanting a change in government.
Oh,
she was just going to give us same government.
Right. Dave, can you tell me 5 things that you accomplished this week?
This week?
Yeah. 5 things you accomplished this week.
What would you like to know?
Listen, I just want to know 5 things.
Well, I know right off the bat, he has been dropping off heroin at 3 different spots. So that's one thing.
He's driving around.
So that's Jersey uniforms. I dropped off uniforms for our tournament this weekend.
And the heroin was stitched inside the uniforms. We know how that works. I've seen the movies.
Is it a Flagley?
No, for our 7-on-7 club.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I had to drop 4 teams uniforms off.
All right, that's one thing.
We have 11 teams, so
Well, that counts as one thing, though. It doesn't count as 5.
He has bought the New York Jets. You can see the background is a
No, that's his
fantastic
green screen.
Oh, that's a green screen. I thought that was a New York Jets.
I sold my
Oh, you sold your car.
My car and bought a truck.
And you got thrown out of a rec league game.
Yep, I got thrown out of a rec league game. That was last week.
You got thrown out of a rec league game?
That's the funniest story I ever heard of.
An adult male rec league?
I don't remember anything. I got home from the hospital. I remember that.
You remember the adult rec league thrown out?
He told me that, and I remember it.
Huh.
It was ridiculous.
He got thrown out of a rec league basketball game.
Why?
It was actually ridiculous, to be honest. So I prefer not to talk about it.
Was it for selling heroin to the little kids at the game?
He got thrown out of a rec league game. Okay. Well, what are you eating?
So what did I accomplish this week? I
want to know 5 things you accomplished this week. You dropped off jerseys.
I got a truck. I
right?
set up my tournament for this week. I set up my showcase. What else? I did 3 podcasts for
good
for the Prospect podcast. I did 1 Husky Hoops with you, and the other. Although I wasn't in it the whole time, I was only in it for half the time.
That still counts.
That's 7 things, Dave. We've gone over the limit.
And they were very. By the way, it seemed like they were very. They weren't in a great mood until I got there. What happened?
Joe and Maria?
Yeah.
Joe was in a grumpy mood. I don't know why.
Maria lit up when I started saying funny things, though.
Yeah.
And then,
Joe, he looked like, because you said he looked like he was in prison with the brick wall.
I did. I came on, he had a brick wall behind him. I said,
Joe!
I said, where are you?
That was funny.
What are you in prison?
Yeah.
I said, Joe, you got to break out, man.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because Maria's season ended, so they had she had a horrible year. She's never lost that many games in her life.
No, she should have coached at Powell Park, Leonia.
And Joe was in jail. So yeah, that was it.
You know what? Joe asked a great question, and Frank will appreciate it. And he asked her about that exact thing. She had never lost.
Yeah, he did say.
And he said, "What is it like for her?" You could see it really hard for her.
Oh, she hated. Yeah. Well, her high school teams won.
I mean, listen, losing sucks. Like, I hate losing. I'm sure you guys hate losing.
She won 3 national championships.
I mean, some of that is, first of all, great job by her picking the school and the person to go play for, because she won so much and she was very good. Obviously,
she was. I mean, an in-state hero,
right? But most of us regular folk who are great athletes don't have that kind of luck.
No.
To be in that great of a situation.
No.
So it's funny because I've coached some great teams, as you and Frank have, and I've coached some very bad teams. And not that they're great kids, always great kids.
Always great kids. That's a problem.
It has nothing to do with them as people. I'm talking about talent.
No, they're just not good players. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're actually some of my most fun teams were some bad teams.
Some of the shock troopers.
No, we used to do the old. Go get a Mia on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's great.
But yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to have a coaching staff with you, Dave, and I.
You got to find the positive in everything. You know what I mean? Even when your team's bad.
Yeah, you can't.
That's hard for people.
Right.
Honestly, like.
Well, that's why Jordan stinks as an owner.
The thing about, even at Maria's level, and she's learning it, development, you can help players get better. But sometimes when you're a great athlete and you've had a lot of success, That's not an easy thing to coach people incrementally.
Exactly.
Incremental development is very hard because it's unseen. You don't really see them develop, meaning like you'll see a little moment, all of a sudden they won't get it, they get it a little bit, they get it, then they go back. And so that's the hardest thing I think for a coach. Like when people are like, oh, let's see how, I don't know, Deshaun Watson is, not Deshaun Watson, what's his name? He's the coach of Delaware State. The
guy they just hired.
The wide receiver. But yeah, like he was a great player. Oh, anyway,
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, right? Oh, you're gonna win. No, listen. Just because you're a great athlete, okay, and being a great athlete can be a positive or a negative as a coach. It could be a positive in the fact that if you really worked hard and took all the steps necessary to become great, you can have the knowledge of what that took, but it does not mean you could translate it to kids.
No, not at all.
And it does not mean that you can get them to believe that they can do that.
No.
Right? Because sometimes they look at a person who's really talented. I had to learn that in coaching. And they can look at someone who they deem to be talented and say, I'm not him. You know what I mean? I'm not him.
Exactly.
Like they actually go backwards because they're just like, I'm not him. You know? You got to get them to believe that in getting to be the best, their best self, period, end of story, not someone else's best self, not your best, their best self, whatever their best self is. If they're willing to do that and you can help them be willing to do that, then if you have in football, 40 people or in basketball.
That's coaching, is getting their best from them.
That's the hardest thing because winning, people, obviously winning's always talked about. Like when you look at Hurley and he loses or a game or something and wins a game, you're always talking about winning or losing. But really the truth is did they play their very best? Are they getting to be their very best? And if all of the players are doing that, the team is going to be the best that they can be. Sometimes it's not a championship team.
That's what Joe said. Joe just doesn't, this is who they are. Joe doesn't think that they're a championship team.
You got to be able to relate to every, I think my situation in life allowed me to relate to every kid on every team that I've coached.
Sure.
In high school, I never played football at any level until my junior year in high school. I sat the bench my junior and senior year at my high school. Didn't see really a significant downs, just on extra special team shit. Went on to college, and I was a 3-year starter at the college level.
Right.
So now I can relate to the guy who's a superstar and playing all the time, and I can relate to the guy that's really got his ass on the pine and can't crack the lineup because of talent or whatever it may be. I know what every kid or every young adult is feeling on that field, and so I can sort of relate and try to either console them, soothe them a little bit, or encourage them or what they need to be able to get them in the right spot to make them be the best that they can be, or just the output being the best. Just like you said, you got to produce. So yeah, and so that's why I really think great athletes, very successful players, don't make great coaches.
Nope,
because they don't have that humble side.
No,
they can't see and relate.
They don't know why you can't do what I do.
Exactly. Yeah. They cannot relate to the player that can't crack what they cracked, and which is the athletic code of life.
Right.
So I think some of the greatest coaches I've known, mediocre players at the best.
Well,
mediocre,
Belichick.
And that's and that's okay, because their minds think on a different level. They see the whole picture, where the great athletes sometimes they don't see the whole picture.
Well, I think it's the coach has to be willing, and I see it on both sides, like good athletes that were very good coaches and guys who were not good athletes who are very good coaches. And then sometimes I've seen guys who were they're okay athletes, and they think the methodology is to like push them to maximization, right? Instead of customization for every player. And now obviously you have certain things that everybody does. There's certain things in any sport that everybody has to do. But as far as like what each person needs. And so I do think it happens more with better athletes. And I do think if you're an athlete that has had no success at all, I think it could be hard for you to understand what it takes unless you conceptually are willing to look at the technical characteristics that make an athlete really good, like Mike Leach did, right? He wasn't a great athlete, but he was able to kind of study things and become really good.
Yeah, he was a football junkie.
My guess is probably, if you look at the history of coaches, most of the most successful coaches probably were at least decent athletes and probably were hard workers and maybe overachieved in something, and then could relate, like Frank said, they could relate to the working part of it, to getting to a different level, to being maybe good but not as good as somebody else, right? I think, I don't know how a Jordan or a LeBron, even though they themselves are probably hard workers, could relate to somebody.
Yeah.
They'd have to really work hard to relate to someone who is not that good.
Yeah, to get down to that level.
So LeBron has a hard time relating to his son, to Bronny.
He does? You've read about it? Or
I would think so.
His son's on the team or in
his son's
G
up and
League?
down, back G League on the team, back and down G League. And I think his son, I think he's proud of his son. I think he encourages his son, but I think he has a hard time.
Well, his son played in college though too.
Yeah, he played
1 year.
USC, 1 year.
Oh, he only played 1 year.
He's actually doing better in the pros than he did in college.
I would think so. Yeah.
Which is very. I think it's interesting. That's an interesting thing, because I think LeBron, and I'm very critical of LeBron politically, I think LeBron is probably a decent dad.
Listen, he's probably one of the most stand-up people that you'll know.
Yes,
he's faithful to his family and his wife.
Yeah.
Really, outside of it, he's not too much of a show-off, where he's going in and over-promoting himself.
No, he's not.
He's reliable, and whether his political beliefs are left, right, center, whatever,
exactly,
he stays faithful to his beliefs. I think the guy is. I mean, I hate people that say they hate LeBron. No, LeBron,
I think he's a good person.
I think the guy is
at least a decent person.
Right, right.
We don't know anybody's ins and outs, but at least he seems like he's a decent person.
Yeah,
and I feel like for someone who is so talented like he is, the fact that he's actually been able to help his son through, and now I'm sure, do I think he pulled? Of course he pulled.
Sure he did.
But and anybody in his position, I think, would, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
you do anything for your kid.
Exactly. So I think that, but I think what he's done is helped him through, honestly, a situation that I thought would for most people would be detrimental, meaning he wasn't really on that level. If you looked at his performance the year before, right? So he really, I think LeBron actually was smart in getting him out, in the sense that whatever was going on at USC, that wasn't a good fit for him. And going to the pros, actually, somehow in the G League, is a better fit for him.
Yeah. If he stayed in college, the expectations probably would have been too great.
And they're not running the system for him. Like, the coach obviously didn't believe that he was elite, right? He wasn't getting him the ball.
Right.
So he didn't believe he believed he had better players. So it seemed like working. But anyway, I think that's it. Like, LeBron's interesting because he seems like he's probably much more empathetic than Jordan probably was with his kids.
Yeah. Jordan was a hard ass on his kids.
Well, we went right in from this is Rebel Republic that slid right back into Moneyline for a little bit. I enjoy this.
Well, you brought it up.
I know I did. That's my fault. Hey, listen, we got a big upcoming week right now with the Trump administration. So you have the rare earth minerals deal, hopefully being signed tomorrow or over the weekend. Then after that deal gets signed, I am going to make a prediction by the end of next week. You will see a ceasefire in the Russia and the Soviet Union, in the Russia-Ukraine war.
I thought Israel and Hamas too.
Israel and Hamas has that treaty, the peace deal right now, or a ceasefire right on the table right now. That I think is more tenuous. So I think that right now in time really needs a concerted effort by the Arab countries specifically that are involved in this deal to be able to step up and say that they will rebuild Gaza.
Right.
They will provide maybe some kind of monitoring force, and that they will reel in Hamas to a point. I don't know how much you can appease Israel, because Israel's goal from the beginning was the elimination of Hamas. Eradicate Hamas to the last person. So I don't know what that angle is. I think that angle is a little more difficult than what the Russia-Ukraine angle is.
Well, is the Zelensky guy going to step down, you think?
I think Zelensky will stay right where he is. I think Putin will make a deal. I think that is why right now in the United Nations resolution they just had, the United States was one of the only ones to vote against declaring the Soviet Union, or declaring Russia as a dictatorship, or as the instigator of the war. I forget exactly what the terminology words were, but the United States did not sign on as the rest of the UN did, and voted for that. And I think the reason is because if you're trying to get someone to come to the table for a deal, you can't insult them up front. So I think bottom line, the war of words was being played there by the U.S. to like, hey, listen, I'm not going to call this guy an asshole and then ask him to come and sign a treaty, a peace treaty, or ceasefire treaty.
Of course.
I've got to stroke this guy a little bit, and we know that Putin likes to get stroked.
He does.
We know Putin likes to be involved in world affairs. We know that he likes to come out. He likes to come out with a sense of being on top. But at the same time, I think Putin definitely wants this war to end. He realizes it's a no-end battle.
Well, he invaded them.
He did, and it's been a 3-year elimination of human beings in that zone, and that has not accomplished anything.
What was his reasoning?
The reasoning, I'll tell you, the real instigators of this all along are the United Nations.
Oh,
okay. The United Nations are the real instigator in this whole Ukraine-Russia war.
Supposed to keep peace.
I understand that, but you have to understand, one by one, the Russia, which used to be the Soviet Union, has lost parts of the puzzle.
They have.
They've lost ground because more and more nations have been accepted into the United Nations.
Oh.
So Russia feels its borders are threatened. So now with the talk 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago of Ukraine wanting to join the United Nations, which they've been talking about this all along, you're seeing the Soviet Union finally say, we've had enough. Okay, you people are infringing on our national sovereignty by surrounding our borders with what they consider an enemy. And so that is why Russia invaded Ukraine.
Oh.
And plus, Putin has a world vision of this old Soviet Union. He wants to bring that back.
Yeah. Well,
but they've gained about 20% of Ukrainian land in the last 3 years. There have been hundreds of thousands killed.
Right.
The Soviet Union is running out of physically able-bodied soldiers. Ukraine is they're indoctrinating 50-year-olds, 55-year-olds into the military to be able to fight this war. Okay, Soviet Union again. I apologize. Russia has brought in North Korean troops to fight in this war. So you have to realize
they're both running on fumes.
They're running on fumes.
Okay,
and they're not going to. Russia will not launch a nuclear device to end this war, because that's
their land.
It doesn't matter. That's ultimate futility right there. That would be the end of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got their backs up against the wall, but Putin doesn't want to look bad.
He's got to come out
in a ceasefire. So he's got to come out smelling like roses. And
he's got
Zelensky,
a safe face.
Right, exactly. Safe face is the perfect word for that.
Zelensky looks like he's 30 years old.
Well, he's
young-looking guy.
Probably. Yeah,
he is. He's that young?
I don't know. He probably in his 40s, right? But I'm saying he's a young-looking guy.
I want to go. So if I go to Ukraine, I could be an elected leader. They don't have elections.
They don't. They do, but they don't. No, if you go to Ukraine, listen. Some of the Ukrainian women there are hot.
Well, I know that.
You could go there right now, Steve. They would think you're actually pretty attractive. Yeah, as long as you flash a little green.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So that's I'm going to predict by the end of next week, which will be the first weekend of March, you will see a sort of a ceasefire happen in the Russia-Ukrainian war. So now you're going to have a U.S. president who has been in office maybe 45 days by then.
Wars.
He has stopped 2 international conflicts in 45 days. This is unprecedented. Has never been seen before in the history of the world. Okay, where 2 different major conflicts have stopped within 45 days from just someone entering office in one country. Okay, so now, if not, listen.
Who stopped World War II?
FDR. When Germany, when Hitler shot himself in the bunker, and Russia and the United
No, it was
States were
Truman.
closed
Didn't
in.
Truman drop the bombs?
Truman dropped the 2 bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
All right.
So
yeah, he stopped 2 wars.
Yeah, so he'll stop 2 international conflicts in 45 days of being named president of this country. Joe Biden had almost over 3 years to stop these conflicts and had done nothing. Nothing, because you know why?
Well, I don't think Joe Biden could stop a car accident.
No, but you know why? Nothing. He demanded no respect whatsoever. And where Trump,
well, I think he could have demanded it. I don't think
he couldn't demand anything. Wouldn't have got it. Absolutely, because he doesn't show strength. He doesn't show strength.
No,
you understand that?
No,
he's like a wet piece of paper. That's what he is.
Yeah,
he's a wet piece of paper.
Yeah.
So you're and if this war stops, no matter what the agreement is, okay, conflict has ended, and there's still going to be people that criticize the deals. Well,
that's their job.
Trump is still an ally, an asset of Russia.
They're always going to criticize.
It's garbage. It's got to stop. These idiots with these point of views. The Joy Reid, who just got axed from MSNBC, get the freak out of here. Every day, isn't there anything else to talk about? Isn't there anything else to talk about in your newscast?
That's ratings.
In your newscast, why don't they instead of the Joy Reid show? Why don't they just call it like the Trump Hater Show?
Yeah,
call it the Trump Hater Show.
I agree.
Hosted by Joy Reid.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is where the fallacy is in this country. After a while, whether I liked Obama, disliked Obama, where he did good things, I gave him props. When Osama bin Laden got whacked, gave him props.
He deserved credit for that. Yep.
Right. Exactly. When the bailout happened because of the financial crisis, I don't think it was handled in such a bad way. I think it was handled in a decent way. I give him props on that because he didn't have many other options. So bottom line, what political affiliation I carries no influence as to how I give credit to someone if the job is done right.
But the liberals don't think that.
The liberals don't think that because Hitler is Trump. Right. Exactly.
No. Okay. All right. Well, Dave, thank you. And we're going to sign off now.
That was great.
Rebel Republic for the coach, David Schumann, voice of reason, Hitler.
You heard it here first.
Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe.
No, Dan Bongino.
Life gives you lemons. Don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges. Throw them back at Dan Bongino.
No.